Hi, this is Ben from Turn Sounds. If you ever see a chupacabra, make sure you take a picture. Alright, welcome everybody to Just Keep Walking. We're a podcast focused on the Walking Dead TV show, and we're about to go live with our mate Dominick, who's another Walking Dead fan page, and the plan is we're going to go through sort of not top favourite episodes, because we had a bit of trouble picking oh, this is my favourite, and it sort of changes all the time, so we're going to go through at least five of the episodes that we really like, because it's very hard to pick favorites. There's so much good content to work with. So that's sort of the plan for today. We're just gonna have a chat, hang out, talk about Walking Dead. But yeah, essentially we talked a bit earlier about, okay, what are we going to talk about? And we said, all right, let's have a go at doing sort of listing our top 5 episodes, because I know a little bit about you based on your reviews, but I'm curious to hear what some of your favorite episodes are. What about Walking Dead you really like? So I figured that's always a good way to sort of to gauge what someone's into. So we might just dive straight into that if that works for you, and yeah, list through a few of those.
Yeah, whatever's good with you.
Awesome, sounds good. So, do you want to start us off? What is one that would be on your list for a favorite episode?
All right. So I feel like everybody kind of chooses this one, but it always has its room in my top 5. Season 6, episode 9. It will always be in my top 5.
Oh,
I loved
absolutely.
how I just loved how every character shined, and they all just like everybody, even Father Gabe, Eugene, everybody came together and they fought and they stood up for what
Mm.
they believed in. And I just really liked that episode. I like how Rick had his signature accent, just slicing walkers back and forth all by himself, and then everybody joined. It was really cool. That that episode, I'll always remember that episode. It was actually better than in the comic, because in the comic that was
Really?
I liked it better in the show, because of course in the comic Rick only had one hand at that point, and Morgan died, and
Ah,
Tobin died as well. So
interesting.
I kind of like the show better, like how they went with it, and also Deanna, how she went out, and it kind of had that high pitched no dialogue or audio
Yeah, that was
screaming.
awesome. Hey.
That was pretty cool. But
Oh, really good.
what's an episode that you like?
Well, I've got to say, I agree with that one. Hey, it doesn't quite, that would probably be in my top 10. It doesn't quite make it to my top 5, but every time I watch it, it's just so good. Like you were saying with, all these characters, Father Gabriel and stuff, who've been sort of on the sidelines and not really doing too much, and now he finally steps up and takes responsibility and joins in the fight. So seeing all that, as well as just how epic it is, and then the Anderson family, they all die in at one time. It's just, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
probably I was tossing it around a lot. If I had to pick a number 5, I'd probably put, I think, the season 10 finale there, the most recent episode we've got. There was a lot of missed opportunities, I felt, so it was kind
Yeah.
of bittersweet watching. I was like, oh, it felt too short, and all these things they could have done. But in the same strength, I just love every second of it. I've gone back and watched it so many times, and it just ties so many things together. So I've found that one just, yeah, always really satisfying to watch, and I think it's just a fun episode as well. Hey, you got the fighting the Whisperers in the middle of the Horde, and then all these final showdowns between characters and things like that. So yeah, I just really liked that one. But how did you feel about the finale for season 10?
Well, so see, I watched every episode of season 10 leading up to the finale, and then when I heard
Okay.
about that break, I was like, oh come on, but I had faith, and
Mm.
I waited 6 months, and I got to watch it on October 1st, 3 days earlier,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was So let me just say, let's go with the pros first. The
Yeah.
sound, the soundtrack was probably the best of the entire show.
Oh
I love
yeah.
the soundtrack. And then I loved all the character moments like Lydia and Carol, and then you saw a little bit more of Diane and that one girl
Mm.
from Oceanside, and Father Gabe shined. You know, he finally got his moment. You know, he finally kicked some whisper. You know, it it was really cool, and really the episode was perfect. Besides one fact, we should
Okay.
have. And I feel like everybody says this, but I mean, come on, AMC. Why didn't they give us Negan versus Beta? Like, come on. I understand. I understand they
Yes.
used Negan as bait, and Daryl needed to learn from his mistakes, or else it wouldn't have been realistic. I understand the way they went, but what I feel like they should have done is in season 10, episode 15, gave us like a
Mm.
battle where maybe Aaron dies or something like that,
Ah, yeah.
and then have a Negan versus Beta, and then give us the finale they gave us. You know,
Yeah, interesting, hey. No, I
but it
like
was a
that
good
idea.
episode. But it was a really good episode, and I like how it's leading up to these amazing 6 episodes of 10C, which
Right.
I'm really looking forward to. I'm
Oh,
really
me
looking
too,
forward to it.
absolutely, hey. Oh,
Like,
so much potential for what's gonna happen in those, hey, is it's just cool to think that like we wouldn't have got them without the pandemic, and obviously we would have had a whole nother like half season by now. But still, to think, okay, here's these 6 episodes and some stories that probably wouldn't have been told without the pandemic. So yeah, I'm very very interested to see what they're gonna bring. Hey,
and everybody's saying how they're mad that we're not going to get a 12th season. If you think about it, we're only 4 episodes short than what we were normally going to
it
get.
pretty much is. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and plus with the final season, they're probably going to make a lot of episodes like an hour to 50 minutes. So I guess
Mm,
it kind of worked out because
yeah.
after all these years, sure, Walking Dead has had its lows, but me as a longtime fan, I've been there since 2010. I've been there since I
Mm.
was like,
Oh, awesome.
I'm 16 now, about to turn 17. I've been on a Walking Dead since I was like 7, 8, something like that.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, eh?
Yeah, I still remember when season 2 was like the biggest thing on TV at the time. You know, it first came on Netflix,
Right.
and I first saw Sophia's death, and I was like, oh my god, it was
Yeah, wow.
nostalgic moments.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Hey, that's awesome. Nice. All right. Well, what would be next on your list then for 5 year episodes?
All right, season 8, episode 2. I love that episode.
Ah, that's the Damned, right? Where it's all the different battles going on at once.
Yes. So a lot of people hate on season 8, but let me just say this: if someone hates on a TV show because of a character dying, they shouldn't even ever even watch that TV show. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
like so many people. So this is what I don't get. Glenn was an amazing character, but like no one would choose Daryl. I meant Glenn over Daryl, or Glenn over Rick, or Glenn over
Mm.
Nick. You know what I'm saying? No. So when he died, everybody's like, "Oh my god, he died." Then they just stopped watching. Like what? That was so stupid. Like,
It's crazy, hey, yeah.
but
Like, I get that there are other things going on with the show, reasons why people would stop, but when they say, oh, I stopped watching just because this character died, it's like, well, I don't know, it's a zombie show, people die, that's kind of part of the deal.
I mean, yeah. Now, Fear, on the other hand, kills off way too many characters. I just
Right, interesting.
I stopped watching Fear.
Ah,
But
fair, hey.
season 8, episode 2, I just like I was saying before with the soundtrack, like towards the end with like that really cool brutal
Mm,
soundtrack that it had, and then seeing Morales again and him just like that was probably one of the best
yeah.
dialogue scenes of the entire season. And then it gave us one of the best fist fights, Rick versus that Savior. That was a really good fist
Oh,
fight.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that
Daryl
was
and
crazy. So brutal. And then he goes and finds out that, he was just protecting his baby all along. Yeah,
and that like
that's a great choice, eh?
that you could like feel, you could see like how he like regretted it in a way, and like you
Mm,
see like the softer side of Rick. Like Rick softened down,
sure,
and
absolutely.
and the I'm like a big fight scene buff when it comes to TV shows like this, and like one little punch could kind of just change everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I kind of felt like they should have given us a Negan versus Rick at the end of season 7, because in season 8 they both kind of mellowed out a little bit, and they weren't trying
true.
to kill each other. They were kind of just trying to like, well, I mean they were trying to kill each other obviously, but they weren't fighting to like the death, like choking each other out and stuff. They were just like
Sure.
hey, a little
Yeah, it
punch here.
wasn't as full on,
Like,
hey.
yeah, they should give us like a Governor versus Rick style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now, yeah, that was to the death, hey. They were going all out.
But I don't know. I just like that Daryl and Rick were finally working together again, and
Mm,
just the fact that all these characters came together and Ezekiel's team. By the way,
mm,
see, like that was crazy on season 8, episode 3, when Ezekiel, all his family and his like, I call it his family, but all his people
yeah.
winning, and then all of a sudden they die like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like it seems really hopeful. We've lost not one of our ranks or whatever he says, and then just bang, all of them are dead in like 10 seconds. It's like, wow. Yeah, that was crazy. Hey.
But let's move on to your next favorite.
Cool. So, number 4 on my list is again, this changes all the time, but I'm gonna go with The Bridge, which is season 9, episode 2. It's a bit of,
Yes.
it's kind of a random one, but it's just so well like written and put together. Like just the way it all unfolds is just so perfect. I find that because I love the first episode of season 9. That's really fun, but then I feel like episode 2 is when you really start to get into the story and the character interactions and things are just unfolding. And yeah, man, I think it's just such a well made episode, and yeah, really, definitely one of the best for me.
Like I'm not gonna lie, that's probably my favorite episode out of season 9. Other than
Yeah, awesome.
other than Choke Point, of course. But I was actually
Hmm.
gonna put that in my top 5, but I don't know, 8-2 just hit me a little bit harder. But I understand what
Yeah,
you're saying and how I love. So the first 5 episodes of season 9 were like perfect, really. Like you got like,
yeah,
it was like Angela Kang showing what she could do, because this was not in the comics. This was just new material. And with that, like new material, they showed us what
mm,
they could do in those first 5 episodes. With season 9, episode 2, they like all the saviors and Rick's group, or just the group, they weren't really getting along, and you had the ocean side picking off, and then like they were at each other's throats and stuff, and I just
yeah,
like that. And Justin, he was actually like, you remember Justin, the guy that punched it?
yeah, yeah.
That that was like a cool little like, he was like the main villain of that episode, and I thought that was kind of cool. Just Daryl and his
True.
scenes. So I understand what you're saying. Season 9, episode 2 was one of the best episodes.
Yeah,
It was
awesome. Hey, there you go. And it's like it's not a finale or a big moment where everything changes, but it's just one of those sort of middle of the road episodes that just stands out as because it's made so well. But yeah, anyway, there you go. I'm glad that you like it as well. That's cool.
uh,
What would be next on your list then?
I so this is probably not on anybody's top 5.
Okay.
Maybe not even their top 20. But when I was younger, right? So season 4 came out on DVD, and I watched it, like, and it was one of the best seasons for me back then, with the whole
Mm.
Carl and Rick and
Oh
just
yeah.
all the new storylines and stuff. And I never read the comics until like I was in like 6th, 7th grade. So, I didn't know anything. So, as I was saying, I always loved the Daryl and Beth storyline. I just loved the chemistry, you know. In
Yeah.
season 4, episode 12 will always pick a spot in my top 5 or top 10, because I just really like the Daryl and Beth storyline and how they kind of like went place to place, and she was like, "You're gonna be the last man standing" and stuff. And
Mm.
I just like I like their chemistry. You know, the moonshine.
Yeah.
Mm. Every time I rewatch season 4, I keep forgetting because it's kind of weird. Like I remember it was 412, but they also had another episode. I think it was maybe 411, maybe 410. I'm not sure, but they had another episode that was kind of, you know,
Yeah, they were in like a bit of an episode that was chopping between the different groups, and then they got their own one in episode 11. Hey.
because I remember episode 11, I think, or 10 was the one where she was looking for the not moon. I don't know why I said moonshine, but like alcohol. They were looking for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 412 is whenever I think they got split up, and then he went with the Claimers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So like
Man, I'm glad you like that one. Hey, because so many people, say that's one of the worst episodes, and a lot of people don't like it. But I'm totally with you. Hey, like it certainly does have a few flaws, but just the chemistry between the two characters, the all the different situations they go through, and even I think for me what stands out is towards the end when they're playing like the truth or dare. What is it? No, never have I ever.
you never have ever.
Like when they're drinking alcohol, and it just slowly escalates, and she says, I've never been to prison, and it's like, is that what you think of me? And you just find out what they think about the other person's character, and the way it just all unfolds is just so good. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know, they did have really good dialogue with that episode, and a lot of people think just because there's no gore or action in the episode, you gotta have dialogue. If you didn't have dialogue, then that would give someone something else for people to complain about. You know what I'm saying? Like no one can ever be happy. I'm just happy
Yeah,
watching still a TV show. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
100%. Yeah,
but
no, that's great.
what's another episode? What's your third? I think we're number three.
All right, so the top three are pretty, like solid for me. Like I can choose my top three very easily. It's the ones after that vary a bit, but the top
Yeah,
three have stuck with me for a while. So number three, I would go with season 5, episode 10. It is called Them, which is where they're on the road out. They're essentially just walking along the road for half the episode, and then they find the barn towards the end as there's the big rainstorm and everything. And
yeah.
yeah, I
So
just really enjoy it. Hey.
it's kind of having that homey feel, where you can just let's say like you get home and you just sit down, you pop in an episode. There's that episode.
Yeah,
You had that feel to it where you can just that's the kind of episode you can just rewatch any day. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah. So like
So
it's got them, just surviving on the road, trying to find food and water, but then it's got the deeper character stuff as well, because like Maggie and Sasha, they've just lost Beth and Tyrese at like pretty much the same time, and so they're going through their own arc, and there's all these different dynamics going on, and so yeah, I just really enjoy it. Hey.
yeah, my one of my friends, I have a bunch of different Walking Dead accounts that I'm
Hmm.
friends with, and they post some really good stuff. I'll towards the end of videos, I'll tell you a couple. Maybe
Yeah, cool.
maybe if you like, go check them out. But it was cool because I never realized this, and then I saw this post, and it showed Daryl on that episode. And remember when he was eating that worm or whatever, right before they went to the barn?
Yeah.
He actually has Daryl Beth's shoelaces
Really?
around his, and I just never realized that, and I was like, that's super cool.
That's
I'm wondering
really
if they
cool.
still has them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting, eh? It'd be one of those things to have a look closely at a few frames. Say, oh, has he still got that? That's
Yeah,
cool. I like that. I never noticed it. Hey.
but you said season 5 was so 10, so expand on that a little bit. What was the main thing that made it your top three?
Um, it's like hard to explain. Hey, so I like any time the group's just out surviving and on the road, going from place to place. So, and that's sort of one of the few times that we really see the whole group together. They're just out on the road surviving. They walk for ages, just ignoring that pack of walkers behind them until they get to a vantage point. So seeing them sort of at their prime, even though they're like starving and haven't had anything to drink. Yeah, all that survival aspect is really cool, but also just to have the mix of all the character dynamics and where it sits in the middle of everything is really fun. And then the storm and the barn at the end pulls it all together when everyone comes together as one force to like hold the door closed. Yeah, it just shows that even in like sort of their worst state where they're starving and everyone's emotionally distraught and all this stuff, they can still come together and work together as one and be this powerful force. And then seeing Sasha and Maggie at the end go out and just that really peaceful atmosphere when they find that the tornado's gone past and that there's sort of this new day still to come after the storm. I just really like it. Hey,
Yeah,
that's a bit rambly, but yeah,
I get what you're saying about that. But like I said, it did really have like that homey feel. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But that was a really good episode. Season 5 did have a lot of really good episodes, and that was one of the seasons that didn't really miss on anything. And in my opinion,
totally.
there is no bad Walking Dead season. Sure,
for sure.
it did slow down a little bit, but there's no reason to lose hope because every episode has something going for it. And that kind of leads me to the beginning of that. Season 7, Episode 1. That is my number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you can already figure why I put that so far up on the list. It was just the perfect beginning to Negan. If you haven't realized, by my count, Negan's my favorite character. I even have
awesome.
Even have the Lucille, you know what I'm saying?
But, what, like a life-size one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
If they ever have Walker Stalker again, I'm gonna get all the cast that I can find to sign it, and then I'm gonna save a special little spot for JDM if I ever see him one day.
Nice.
But season 7, episode 1, it kind of just changed the whole perspective on Walking Dead, and I love just how dark it was and how it took you after 4 or 5 month wait. Actually, I actually waited about I only waited about 2 months because I was a little late at the end of season 6, but just that build up and then you gotta wait 20 more minutes to figure out who exactly dies. It's just crazy. And just Negan in that, I feel like Negan in that episode is what we should have had in season 8 because he was perfect. I mean, JDM is perfect all the way through. I just feel like we should have had a more aggressive Negan. You know what I'm saying? But
sure.
He can still kick butt. You know what I'm saying? You saw what he did.
Very intimidating. Hey.
I hate when people say, there's these comments saying that if Jadis can knock Simon down in one hit, then he's not that tough. I mean, you could take the Rock and if somebody hit him hard enough. I mean, but
yeah, true.
So season 7, episode 1, I just really liked the episode because after all that build up, it really paid off because not only did you only get one really gruesome death, you got 2, and you got all these people you never saw even a hint of fear in them before. Now they're all just on their knees and they're helpless. You know what I'm saying?
It was such a blow, hey, because it's after you've seen them at their prime. If any group stands in their way, they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just take them out, no worries." The wolves, they just deal with them in one episode. So we've seen them be the the kings and and not having any trouble with another group, and now all of a sudden everything gets taken away from them. Hey.
Yeah, and I like how they thought, oh my God, there's only like one outpost when there's like 7 different outposts plus the sanctuary.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey. No, well that's a good choice. 7-1. It's a heavy episode, but it is so well made. It's really good. Hey. Well, just a heads up. I've got my phone saying I've got like 10% battery left. So if I do cut out at any point, then I'll grab my iPad and reconnect. But yeah, that's just so you know.
Oh yeah, my phone was getting pretty low earlier.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll go through the last two for each of us. And then we'll try and get those done a bit sooner before the phones run out. But yeah. So all right. So number 2 for me would be Too Far Gone. So season 4, episode 8. That's the big showdown at the prison where Herschel sadly dies. But just the way all of that unfolds, like it's got the exciting action, but it's also really dramatic and tragic, and I just love the way that everything weaves together. The governor loses Megan, the little girl, and so he's lost something. Rick's group, everyone just kind of loses what they're fighting for, and it sounds a bit grim, but the way the episode unfolds is just really well put together, I find, and always something that I enjoy coming back to.
Give me a second. Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, sure.
Give me about 10 minutes, okay? Anyways, yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Too Far Gone was really, really good, and I loved how like brutal the governor was. You know what I'm saying? And just
yeah,
I remember seeing that for the very first time, and I was like, like we never really got that brutal of an episode before, and all these people just like. And I really like the tank part with Daryl. He just threw a grenade in there.
Yeah. And he's like got the walker pinned up that he's hiding behind.
Yeah, that kind of remind me of 10-16 with the whole Whisperers taking the walkers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but very much so.
Too Far Gone was a really good episode, and gave us one of the best fist fights. It gave us so many great moments. But it's got I'm sorry, it's kind of got to cut short.
That's right. No, if you need to go for it, and we can pick this up at another point if needed.
Oh yeah. Well, it's snowing outside over here. We're getting like 6 inches, and my mom I need to go help my mom with some stuff. But
nah, that's fair. Hey.
But
cool.
my first.
All right, well, yeah.
let I'll tell you my first pick real quick. My first pick is season 10, episode 12.
Season 10, episode 12. Yeah. Walk with us. So where like Alpha dies and everything.
Yeah, I loved how it started out with a really, really big, good battle, and then it kind of brought it down into I love Negan in season 10, and I love his storyline and his story arc, and how I actually really like his connection with Alpha, and that's what made me kind of sad when she died, because I liked Alpha. She was really cool. And then after that whole situation, there, just out of the blue, so I know that how she died in the comics, but the comics is a little bit different than the show. In the show, Negan's with her a lot longer, and I loved how it was. I like how he killed her out of nowhere, because I was expecting Carol to be in that cabin. I didn't know what to expect, and then he killed her.
Okay.
And I really like the Gamma with Beta storyline, how she ripped off some of his mask and he gutted her. It was really cool.
And Earl as well. It's like we lost Earl, Gamma, and Alpha all in the one episode.
Yeah, I was kind of sad about Earl, but at least he's with Tammy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
But season 10, episode 12 was really good, and I liked how Alpha, it was such an ironic moment, because Alpha got her head put on the same spike that Henry's head was. I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
There
But
you go.
it's
Payback.
it's been fun talking to you. I gotta go. Thank you
Oh,
for the
good, mate. No, thanks so much for coming on. Hey, yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again sometime.
yeah. Maybe next weekend, week after, whenever you're free, we can pick it up. Sorry about the cut
Yeah.
short.
No, that's fine. All good. Yeah. Well, yeah. All the best with what you've got going on. It's definitely the opposite here in Australia. It's very hot at the moment, so no sort of
Yeah,
snow. But yeah, no, crazy. But yeah, I really appreciate your time. Hey, thanks for coming on. It was good fun.
yeah. And by the way, my friend, he needs all the support he can since his other account got brought down. His
Yeah.
account's called Henry Deserve Better.
Henry deserved better.
I'll send you his thing.
All
Uh,
right. Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll definitely share that and give us some love. So yeah, that sounds good.
all right. Well, thank you. It's nice meeting you. Peace.
All good. You too. See ya. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I'll wrap this live up in 2 seconds, but oh, I'm all right. I'm tossing up. Should I? Yeah. All right. I'll do it. All right, do it. So my first favorite episode, first on my list is the Calm Before. So season 9, episode 15, the Pikes episode. So well made. For just every single time I rewatch it, it gets better. The way it's directed and the way, there's just this sense of doom, impending doom of what's going to happen. Even though it's like this happy fair scene, so we get the fulfillment of signing the charter and all that, but we also then get these tragedies. But the way that it then goes after the Pikes and continues on into Sadiq's speech and it ends on a more hopeful note. I just really love the whole way that the episode unfolds. So that's number one for me, and I just really love it. Hey, but so that's obviously everyone involved. Amazing job. The writers and all that all played a big part. But one person who I'm really excited we're going to have join us for an interview probably in a few weeks. We're still just deciding or still just working out a time that everyone's going to be free. But that is the director, Laura Belzy. We've been in touch with her and she's keen to come on and do an interview and chat about her work. So she directed that episode as a very first episode actually on Walking Dead that she directed. So man, like, what an amazing job, hey, especially for the first episode on the show. That's just crazy. So I'm really, really excited to be able to talk with her, which is going to happen in a few weeks from now. So yeah, stay subscribed, follow the page, and you'll find out when that's happening. But yeah, essentially, I think that's it, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, I really appreciate it. And yeah, just keep an eye out for what's coming up. There's lots of exciting stuff happening as we're getting towards the 6 bonus episodes. You might have seen I've put out part 1 of Inside the Music of The Walking Dead, and this is something I've been working on for ages, just to put out a video that shows appreciation for the music and breaks down like the recurring themes, showing sort of when they're sprinkled in throughout the series, and you'll see some that start in one season and then 5 seasons later they'll expand upon it and follow certain themes throughout the story and all these things. So part 1's out, but honestly I reckon it gets better and better as it goes on because the composers are constantly improving. So season 10 is my favorite score out of all the series, and it just gets better as it goes on. So enjoy part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. I'd love if you're interested for you to go and watch that, and then stay subscribed for the next ones. They're going to be sort of coming out one at a time over the next few weeks as I get the time to polish those off. So thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And why don't you let us know your favorite episodes, and we'll we might even read out. We'll do sort of like a fan responses or fan Q&A thing. So yeah, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate you tuning in, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.